Hey Isaac, you should make a video, man.
Do do ba 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 ship it bow.
This one's in the bag.
Okay, so here we are, start of the video. Here I am talking to you, the person watching this video. I guess maybe that counts as the listener or the viewer. I think viewers or viewers the word because this is a video. So I wanted to throw together just a quick video real quick because I think the last video I had made was on mastery points and stuff like that and how they're useful and how to use them. And so actually there's going to be an expansion coming out to this game pretty soon in like MMO terms. We don't know when it'll come out yet, and maybe it'll be like the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year. Whoa, it's here for Ashdale who finished in something. So maybe like in a couple of months, 6 to 7 months most likely, maybe more, maybe a bit less. So that if there's tons of times to do stuff in the meantime, but then yeah. So anyways, what's probably most important is that for Guild Wars 2 right now, at least for this brief interim time, the ArenaNet has kind of just come out and they're like, we're not making new content for the game, really. Because, you know, and of course they've got the expansion coming out, so they're really just diverting and allocating all their resources for that. But if you wanted to jump into the expansion, that means that you have a great opportunity right now to just do some things, enjoy the game, and maybe you are like me where you play the game off and on, and so it's pretty easy to just like hop in and be like, oh yeah, I'll do some of this, and while I'm doing some of this, I'll do some of that. Show me these new things. Or maybe it's been a long time since you've really like been in the game, or maybe you've not really been in the game. So I just wanted to go over some quick things that you can do to do stuff, I guess. So we're gonna do a bit of map traveling here. Also, check out this wonderful infusion that I have. This isn't how my character normally looks. This is how my character normally looks. And I understand that this color coordination is awful, but I have 3 different builds, and so I just color code them so it's easier for me to tell. But it's a stone skin. This is how the doors in the game look like, and so I did a thing that lets me get this. Plus I have this wonderful thing that gives me a little bit of a black outline, and we should be able to, here, I'll show you what the difference makes. So this is what I am, and then let's unequip that. See, it makes such a difference. It's so great. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. I just like the fashion so much. So I think I've done a video about this before, or not, or at least I vaguely talked about it. But there are these things called the Fractals of the Mist, which you can access from this waypoint in Lion's Arch. And they are a great way just to do daily content and to get gold, and they're super great. Though, for purposes of this video, I'm going to be covering a lot of other things because from my own personal experience, now that I have a kid, and we'll just go in here, now that I have a kid, fractals normally take like an hour and a half to do all of them and to do well, and so that's like hard for me to find time for and to do. But just in case you didn't know, fractals of these mists are repeatable content where you basically have these different episodes of content, and then you have 4 tiers of them, with each of them getting progressively harder, and you get really good rewards for it. And part of that is ascended gear, which is this cool pink stuff, which is actually best in slots. So these green numbers you see, they can't get any greener. And also they allow you to add these things called infusions, which you can have cool cosmetic ones like the ones I was showing earlier. But then mostly what they do is they just add a thing called agony resistance, which is basically how they tier gate this. They both give the bosses and enemies and stuff like that more HP and stuff like that, but then they also just have things where it's like you take X amount of your health as damage, and the only thing that prevents it will be agony resistance. Now I guess just a couple of notes why we are here. This little cute guy here has this discounted Anguish Tier of Alba, which if you need some extra agony resistance will help out with. There's a Mastery and Central Tyria Mistlock Singularity, which does take a little bit to get, but that'll get you some extra agony resistance as well. It also gives you a free revive. And then also you will get these cute little chests, which I think I can actually look up in the black marketplace. Can I just do fractal and it'll come up? Hey! So these things, actually here, I'll just buy buy some to show. So how much can I get for a gold? Well, actually, how much gold do I have? Yeah, let's just spend 10 gold. Let's go for it. Now this will be like one of those gambling videos that people are really into. 10 gold for 46. Okay, and then we have to buy 46 keys, which, here we go. So we're just gonna type 46. That's gonna be, is the max I can buy 30? Oh, okay, that's kind of lame. That's okay. Boop. I mean, I didn't know about that limit of 30, so normally when you're doing fractals, you might not get that many, but that's okay. We got more keys. Yes. And so we got a lot of these mats, cooler for material. And then these things which are good to sell, so like that's 8. So let's see how that comes out. Oh dude, holy cow. So I didn't open 12 of them, and that came pretty close. I got the mats. Then also, you normally don't buy the crates. You normally just get them. So that's actually, it's just a super great gold value. Whoa. These are super good. I didn't know I had these. I am going to like literally pick these up now. I didn't know. Wait, where were they? Ascended, merchant. So let's see. Uncommon equipment. Puts weapons and stuff. Equipment box. If possible. Oh, that's actually super cool. And super cheap. And like 20 boxes. So slot 20 boxes are super great. Okay, well I guess this is another reason to do this. So let's see. 18, 18, 20, 20, 18. I need that save box. I got stuff in there. So we could just do, we'll buy 2 of them, and I guess we'll buy the, well, we don't need the exotic, we really have aquatic, so we can do that, and we can do the uncommon. So I'll put you there, and I'll put you there, and then I can actually sell these. And look at this. Boom. We are just having a good time today. That's the count? Okay. I guess I'll just put that there and I'll throw on somebody else that needs it. Well, anyways, I'm getting distracted, but that is okay. So fractals are an easy thing to do, or they start out easy and they get more difficult, and the content can actually get pretty challenging. And you can just use the LFG here for Fractals of the Mist, and it's split off by the different scales. And there's one group there, there's another group there, there's another group here. So it can sometimes be a little bit challenging to see the 1 through 25, but they're definitely there. And especially if you're part of a guild, they'll always run beginner's fractals. But especially once you get to 3 to 5, which isn't really that hard to do, you'll probably do it in about a month or so of playing. It's pretty easy to find a group. You can also, talking to this person here, will let you make a legendary backpack. I think it's called the Ad Infinium. Ad Infinium? Wow, am I just wrong? Dude, this is bad. I bet I can find it. It's a legendary backpack. No, it is the Ad Infinium. Why did you not come up? Anyways, it's you do collections, and most of it is from doing different fractals and stuff like that. And so you end up getting a legendary backpack out of it, which is super nice, because what legendaries are is they're the best in slot gear, but they also are stat selectable, so it makes it super easy to do other builds. So for example, I just recently made a condition damage build, which is why we're colored green here, and this took me 100, almost like 130 gold to get this up and going when it came to all the weapons and the runes and the armor. But if you have legendary, you can just be like, oh hey, I want to do this other thing. So that's fractals, so that's one thing you can do. But I'm mostly making this video for my twin brother, who he already knows about fractals, so we gotta show him new things. So I can't wait to open you guys. So in season 4, or I guess not season 4, technically it's season 5, but it's not called a season, it's called a saga. They introduced what's called the Ice Brute Saga, which I think I've already gotten somebody access to the Drizzlewood Coast, but then there's also Biora Marches and Grothmar Valley. So Grothmar Valley doesn't really have a lot of profitable metas for it. It doesn't really have a lot of things to do. It has the fighting the Ooze Pit King, it has the Metal Concert, it has the Flame Effigy, and then it has the Roller Derby. Now these things get you keys. Flame. Oh, that's not how to spell flame. We do flame, legion, key. And so you see that sells for like a gold, and so that's pretty good. But honestly, it's like in the ash for a key for a thing as well. The iron one, that's cheap because they're cheap. Oh, flame walker. This one looks pretty cool. Dude, I gotta see if you got like particle effects up there, but I can't because it's so tall. Flame Belcher. Are you a harpoon gun? Ooh, that's cool. So you can do the metas, and they're slightly profitable, and they're super easy to do for sure, but it gets pretty repetitive doing them, and that's not too much fun. There's the Drizzlewood Coast meta, which I would be willing to bet money right now that, yep, we've got things going on right now, which I guess I'll explain that real quick. Hop into the map, or nah. I'm gonna use my portal scroll that I spent money on. Game money. It costs a bunch of karma and gold to get, but on the plus side, free teleports. Loading. You got this little game. Well, I don't think it's a little game. It's actually pretty large. So, you have what's called the South and the North meta. So, in the South, you have all these different forts and stuff, which you have to take and maintain. And then you'll get supply drops, and you'll get rewards for each fort that you maintain. And each one you go and you destroy stuff, you destroy a champion, and then you rebuild it to get morale so that you get more rewards. And then you have to maintain them, which then corresponds, that's not the wrong words. I was thinking coalesce, but that's like work together. It builds up to an event here in Wolf's Crossing, which then after you do that event in Wolf Crossing, there's like 12 bosses that are just spread out around here that you'll travel to, and you'll boss rush them to get a bunch of loot. Then you'll cross here and you'll go through and you'll take these events, but they won't result in that like regular drop of supplies for forts that you have, and that's in part because you don't have to like continue to support these bases. You're purely on the offensive here, and so you'll build your way out here, and here, and you kind of just ignore this one weirdly enough. But once you do here, it kind of becomes like a world boss where you then go into the fort citadel and you end up fighting, is it the Whisper of Jormag? You fight a boss, and the boss is fun and you get good rewards from it. And even I think that is not how I spell Jormag. That's not how I do it either. Yeah, you can get some stuff from it that's pretty cool. But I think that's actually a precursor to something, maybe. Jormag's Needle? That's what I'm thinking of. Hey, look at that. It's like a little icicle. It sells for a lot, though. So that's Drizzlewood Coast, and that's kind of fun in the fact that it's pretty much always going, and you can just drop in and drop out when you want, which is pretty nice. And it's a fun thing to podcast, too. The other one that they added is Biora Marches. It's like the baby Bjorn. And so this has two events in it. Here on the east side, there's what's called the Blizzard event. And then on the west side, you have Drakkar. Now let's see if either of these are up. These ones are on timers, like world bosses. Okay, so there's Drakkar. And so you see this XX means that it's happening every hour on the 5 minutes. And so Drakkar is a boss fight, which is pretty good. And you get decent rewards from it. What's also nice about the Drakkar boss fight, it's Whispering in the Dark. Sorry, I'm hunting for a specific achievement here that I was working on. It is totally Whispers in the Dark. Because I got the the boss fight has a lot of achievements to it, and so it can really be fun to do the achievements with it. And you also get a wonderful title with it. It's the Queller of Profane Whispers. That's just a cool title. And it also has, from the boss fight, you can get a semi-rare boss drop, which is Draconic Lodestones. Let's see, I could just type Draconic more, or I can scroll faster. I just have to do this. Lodestone, and then are you going to show me the Draconic one? Here you go. Or, yeah, Amalgamated Draconic Lodestone. I got one of these the other day. It sells for 11 gold. Like, that's great, man. That's super great. That's just a good way to build up gold. And so that's in Biora Marches. And then lastly, or I guess there are two last things. And this is what I've been doing a lot recently. They're super great. Well, I guess three things. The third thing is not one that I do a lot. It's here, but I don't really do it. So we're here in this fancy room. This is the Eye of the North. So for this season, for this fifth season, this is like your hub world that you're then spitting back out to these other spokes. So you have what's called dragon response missions, and these are the ones that you don't really do. That I don't really do. They're fun to do, and I'd recommend going and doing it the first time, but the rewards aren't the best, and they're similar to dungeons, and the fact that you have to have a group that's pretty good at them for it to be worth going through them fast. But what was added in the 5th season that's super useful are things that are called strikes. Now these are really fun to do, and the fact that they really are true boss rushes, and the fact that they are basically the closest content in between fractals and raids. They are only bosses, and they definitely require some coordination to beat, but you're almost going to like pug all of them, pickup games, all of them, and as long as you have like relatively okay gear, you can get by. Maybe you'll be in a certain group that is like trying really hard to go for it, but most groups are super chill about it. And they actually have 3 specific ones that are pretty easy. I mean, you have ones that are harder. Like there's this one called the Bone Skinner, which, by the way, this is what the boss looks like. And dude, isn't this thing just so cool? But anywho, oh, my pick back. So it's super cool. And so the strike missions are just a great thing to do. I think they're super great. It kind of hits that fix for feeling like you're doing WoW raiding and stuff like that, feeling like you're doing cool things in an MMO. But you can also you can join a group and be done in like 6 minutes. So whenever I'm on like lunch break or something like that, and I have time to just jump in and do something, that's what I do. And there's a daily reset on it. So you can do it daily or not, whatever, and it's just good. And then you can also get those Amalgamated Draconic Lodestones from that as well. You get some other good things, but then you also get crystals from them, which is a little confusing to me sometimes, but if you really grind them, you can get ascended gear from that. But to be honest, I do them a decent bit, and you see I'm not too close for it. And part of the reason for that is that the daily chest, or a weekly chest, you can use those crystals to then get more rewards. It would be like if you did to map it to dungeons, it would be like you did the dungeon frequenter achievement, which you do just 8 paths and you get a chest and stuff like this. But instead of getting a single chest, you got a chest for each dungeon you completed. So I spend the 3 crystals and I get, wow, that was just a package going by. I spend the crystals and I can get rewards from all the stuff, which means that I have more like crafting materials, which I can sell for gold and stuff like that. And finally, and this is the last one, I think this happens every hour at the top of the hour, I think. But this is the thing that they added most recently, which is a thing where the saga ended in 2 dragons fighting each other. And so you do this event. Now this thing is super great in the fact that when you saw me looking up Jormag, you saw that there was a mini that was worth 5 gold. There's another mini who's worth similar. I got this fire guy here. He's super cool, man. But you do that, and that's a possible drop from this, along with the cool ice flame slot that is ascended, which is also super great. And this thing only takes about like 15 minutes to do, and you get gold at the end of it, and it's just fun. It's basically a world boss, but like with the whole server, I guess, because I died. Oh, hey, I'm back. Oh, I died. Well, maybe this is telling me about the thing in the video. And I think I'm done with the having useful information here. So just to recap, I kind of just want to make a quick video to show some of the things that you can do if you just wanted to like interface with the game a bit, just to have fun and to like make progress in the game. Because ultimately, Guild Wars is a pretty fun MMO in the fact that unlike other MMOs, it really does let you do your own thing. And the fact that I've had this gear on my Necromancer for about 2 years now, and I haven't had to change it. So I can kind of just choose what content I want to interact with. And there's a lot of content in the game. What's this? There's a dungeon there. Oh, this is where I'm out of the map. Okay, you can see all these hearts that I've not completed on this character. So the game, it does let you approach all of that at your own pace. And so that means that like if you're looking for something to say that like something is mandatory, that's really not what's going to happen. But what is going to be super great about the game is if you can say there's something about it that I really like. I think that like playing the Reaper class is really cool. Or I think that crafting is really cool, or exploration, or even leading groups of people and doing things. The game will give you avenues to pursue that, and that you can kind of just pick up and do at your own want. There are some things in the game that will cost money, and that you do need to maybe grind for a little bit. And so these are just a list of the things that you can productively grind for, and also that I think that it's like a fun grind. Like that's what I was saying with the Grothmar Valley, where it's just like, that's just not fun to me. But doing stuff like these boss fights, it is fun to me, and it's fun to like feel like it's just part of a living world doing things. I guess that's ultimately where MMOs come to. Well, so this was a video that I knew I was just going to be doing off the cuff. So this is definitely not going in my list of proudest videos. But let's see, do I still have it pulled up? I don't have it pulled up, but I'm gonna pull it up while we do this. My character is gonna die in the background, and I'm okay with that. Guild Wars 2 roadmap. So what they're doing, leading up to the expansion coming out, is this really important thing called the Living World Complete the Cycle, and this is going to start May 25th. So, oh, that's the wrong key. So, Guild Wars has their living story 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so these are things that was coming out every couple of months, and if you were playing the game while it was active, then you would just get it for free. And if you weren't active, it's something that you have to pay for. But what they're doing is they're basically going back and they're reopening the can on all of these, and it's going to go week by week by week. So you can just log in and you can have it, and then you don't even have to like do it. You literally just have to log in the game while it's available and you get it. And that would be a fun way to both catch up on the story and stuff like that. But it can be pretty hard to, have motivation to do that. And also, it's a story that your character is part of. So if you can have things to flex the muscles of your character and to figure out the different idiosyncratic ways that you think it means to have a Guild Wars 2 character, I guess these are a couple of the ways that I like to practice having a Guild Wars 2 character, and how I see my commander, or I guess sometimes don't see with all these particle effects that are going on. Anywho, this is the end of the video, and thank you for watching.